From death worship to spine-tingling ceremonies, these mountain dwellers live in a world of fear and mystery. Their rituals, so chilling that locals dare not speak of them, have long been steeped in darkness. And now, you're about to find out the terrifying truths behind their secrets. The Agori Tribe of India, death worshippers. In the shadow of the sacred Ganges River lives the Agori Tribe, a mysterious and controversial group. These Shaivite sadhus follow an extreme form of Hinduism, marked by their unusual rituals and beliefs. They live in cremation grounds, cover themselves with ash from burned bodies, use human skulls as bowls, and even eat human flesh. Though shocking to many, their practices come from deep spiritual beliefs. The Agoris believe that facing death directly is the key to spiritual enlightenment. They meditate on cremation grounds and perform rituals using human remains to overcome fear and attachment. The ash they smear on their bodies represents purity and detachment from worldly things, showing their rejection of standard societal rules. The origins of the Agori sect are mysterious and full of legend. Some scholars link them to the ancient Kapalika and Kalamuka sects of Hinduism from the 7th and 8th centuries CE. These early groups practiced tantra, worshipped fierce gods, used intoxicants, and performed sacrifices. Over time, these practices merged into the Agori way of life, which Baba Kenaram, a holy figure in northern India, is credited with founding. The Agoris rituals have long inspired fear and curiosity among locals. Their practices, seen as taboo, challenge common ideas of purity and morality. Drinking from skulls and eating human flesh are acts they believe bring spiritual freedom. While disturbing to most people, these rituals are sacred to the Agoris and strengthen their bond with the divine. Despite their scary reputation, the Agoris' lifestyle is based on their belief in non-duality. They reject the difference between pure and impure, life and death, seeing all as parts of the same divine reality. This belief leads them to ignore caste boundaries and accept outcast communities. Their shocking rituals reflect their deep faith in the unity of existence. The Agori tribe is both feared and misunderstood. Their practices push the limits of social norms and provoke strong reactions, but they also reveal an ancient spiritual tradition. Through their unusual methods, the Agoris seek to understand the mysteries of life and death along the banks of the Ganges. The Kowai Tribe of Papua, the cannibal hunters. The Kowai Tribe, discovered only around 35 years ago, inhabits a remote and untamed part of Papua. With a population of roughly 3,000 people, this isolated group has remained deeply connected to its traditions. They dwell in towering tree houses known as rumah tinggi, which rise above the forest floor. Some of these remarkable structures reach heights of up to 50 meters, providing an eerie, almost otherworldly image against the dense jungle backdrop. The Kowai are among the few mainland Papuans who do not wear the traditional koteka, further distinguishing their unique way of life. The Kowai build their lofty homes not merely for practical reasons, but as a sanctuary from the spirits they believe haunt the forest below. To them, the ground is a place of danger and malevolence, where unseen forces threaten their safety. Their tree houses, perched precariously among the branches, are both a physical and spiritual refuge, shielding them from these ominous entities. This connection between their beliefs and environment casts an air of mystery over their existence. One of the most feared and macabre practices associated with the Kowai is cannibalism, which has sent shivers down the spines of outsiders. This ritual was not born of hunger, but as an act of retribution and justice. Cannibalism was carried out to punish kakwa, or witches, believed to harm the community through dark sorcery. Once a kakwa was identified, they were executed in a harrowing ceremony. Their body would then be divided among the clan and consumed, an act both horrifying and symbolic in its intent to purge evil. This grim tradition has made the Kowai infamous and has been the subject of intense fascination and dread. In 2006, the world caught a chilling glimpse into this practice through a television program that documented the execution of a man accused of being a kakwa. The footage captured the brutal reality of their justice system. The man was tortured, killed, and ultimately eaten by his community. Though many Kowai now deny such practices, the lingering stories and evidence paint a haunting picture of a culture grappling with fear, superstition, and survival in the depths of the Papuan jungle. The Kowai tribe remains a haunting reminder of humanity's capacity to adapt to its darker impulses when isolated from the outside world. The Yanomami Tribe. violent rituals in the Amazon. Hidden deep in the Amazon rainforest, the Yanomami tribe is one of the world's most mysterious and isolated groups. They live in remote villages, cut off from modern society, and are often called the fierce people because of their strict traditions and intense rituals. Their way of life is deeply tied to their environment, and their isolation has helped preserve their unique culture for centuries. One of the Yanomami's most striking and feared practices is endocannibalism, where they consume the ashes of their deceased loved ones. This ritual is not an act of violence, but a sacred tradition meant to honor the dead. They believe they help the deceased soul find peace and move safely into the afterlife by eating the ashes. This ceremony involves mixing the ashes with a plant-based soup, which is then shared among family members. The Yanomami's strict adherence to their traditions and isolation make them both fascinating and feared by outsiders. Locals often speak of their fierce reputation and avoid contact with them. Their rituals, especially endocannibalism, add to their mystique and highlight their spiritual connection to life and death. This rare practice demonstrates their unique way of embracing mortality as a part of existence. Despite their reputation, the Yanomami are deeply tied to their land and maintain a harmonious relationship with nature. Their lives revolve around hunting, gathering, and cultivating small gardens. They rely on the rainforest for survival, and their knowledge of the jungle's resources is unparalleled. However, their way of life is threatened by deforestation and external influences, which risk disrupting their traditions and the fragile balance of their world. The Batak Tribe of Indonesia, blood rituals and sacrifice. In the remote mountains of Sumatra, the Batak tribe clings to ancient traditions that evoke fear and fascination. While modern influences have touched some of their villages, chilling tales of their past rituals endure. The Batak were once infamous for practices like ritualistic cannibalism and human sacrifice, which left a lasting mark on their reputation. The Batak believed that consuming the flesh of their enemies would grant them strength and courage. These acts were seen as a way to absorb the power of the defeated and to honor their victory. Although such rituals have long disappeared, the legends persist, casting an ominous shadow over the Batak people. Even today, some locals avoid venturing near their ancestral lands, haunted by stories of blood-soaked ceremonies. While human flesh is no longer part of their diet, the Batak have retained a culture of resourcefulness when it comes to food. They are known for consuming every part of the animals they hunt or raise. Snakes are a common dish, and pigs are used in their entirety. The bones are boiled into a clear soup. The meat and organs are grilled, and the blood is prepared as a side dish. This practice reflects their deep respect for nature and the value they place on minimizing waste. Despite their dark historical legends, the Batak people today are a testament to resilience and adaptability. They have embraced aspects of modernity while holding on to key parts of their identity. Their unique culinary practices and enduring cultural pride intrigue and unsettle those who learn about their history. The Batak story is a reminder of the complexities of human culture, where fearsome traditions can coexist with ingenuity and survival. The Dani Tribe of Papua, finger amputation for grief. In the remote regions of Papua, New Guinea, and the Jayawijaya Regency of Indonesia, the Dani tribe practices a ritual that shocks and unsettles outsiders. For the Dani, the loss of a loved one is not only a moment of sorrow but also a call for sacrifice. Women, and on rare occasions, men amputate parts of their fingers as a profound expression of grief and devotion to their deceased family members. This painful and symbolic act is believed to ward off evil spirits and honor the departed. The ritual begins by tightly tying a string around the finger to numb it, cutting off circulation. Once the finger is numbed, it is severed using a sharp tool. The amputated portion is then burned and its ashes buried in a sacred spot, cementing the act as both a physical and spiritual offering. This gruesome practice reflects the Dani's deep connection to death and their belief in appeasing malevolent forces through personal sacrifice. An alternative method involves compressing the joints to restrict blood flow before amputation. Following the removal of the finger, the open wound is cauterized to stop bleeding and prevent infection. Despite its painful nature, this procedure is carried out with solemn reverence, as the Dani see it as a necessary tribute to maintain balance and protect their community. In some cases, the practice extends to female children. Mothers have been known to bite their infants' fingers, an act laden with symbolic meaning. This belief is tied to the idea that such actions can influence the child's destiny, either by ensuring a longer life, granting them uniqueness, or shielding them from misfortune. These perceptions underline the tribe's intricate worldview, where personal pain is intertwined with spiritual and communal well-being. The severed fingers, whether burned or buried, are treated with the utmost care and placed in significant locations. This act is believed to further strengthen the bond between the living and the deceased. It also serves as a visible reminder of the tribe's commitment to honoring their ancestors and safeguarding their spirits. To outsiders, Dani's finger-cutting ritual is a harrowing and incomprehensible tradition. Locals living outside the tribe's culture often avoid contact with the Dani and their sacred practices, perceiving them as strange and unsettling. The Dani's isolation and adherence to these rituals have only deepened the air of mystery surrounding their community. While the practice of finger amputation has diminished over time, the stories and scars remain. They are a testament to the Dani's unique way of coping with loss and their unyielding connection to their ancestors. This haunting tradition is a stark reminder of the lengths to which humans will go to express love, grief, and reverence in the face of death. The Toraja people of Indonesia, the walking dead. High in the misty mountains of Sulawesi, the Toraja people have a relationship with death that is both fascinating and unsettling. Their funeral ceremonies are elaborate affairs, lasting for weeks and involving animal sacrifices, feasts, and traditional dances. Yet the most haunting of their customs is the Manene ritual, also known as the Walking Dead ceremony. Every few years, the Toraja exhume the bodies of their deceased relatives, carefully clean them, and dress them in new clothes. Sometimes, the dead are even paraded around the village, creating a surreal scene of the living walking alongside the preserved remains of their ancestors. For the Toraja, this act is a way to maintain a close bond with their loved ones. But for outsiders, it is an eerie spectacle that blurs the boundary between life and death. Locals from neighboring areas often avoid the region during these ceremonies, unsettled by the sight of the dead moving among the living. Central to the Toraja funeral traditions is the creation of a tau-tau, a wooden or bamboo effigy made in the likeness of the deceased. These effigies are believed to house part of the soul and are carried alongside the body in a colorful parade through the village. The procession, often lasting hours and covering great distances, is a vibrant yet haunting display of the community's reverence for the dead. The Manene ritual gained widespread attention when images of the ceremony surfaced online in 2009. The sight of the preserved dead led many to speculate about Torajan shamanic powers, with rumors suggesting they could temporarily reanimate corpses. According to local folklore, these rolang, or risen corpses, would follow a designated path to their graves, but could crumble to dust if spoken to or touched by anyone other than their handler. This chilling legend has only added to the aura of mystery surrounding the Toraja. To the Toraja, death is not an end, but a continuation of the relationship between the living and the dead. Their rituals emphasize maintaining familial bonds and honoring the spirits of their ancestors. The elaborate funerals and the Manen ceremony demonstrate their deep spiritual connection to those who have passed, blending reverence with tradition in a way few other cultures do. While these practices may seem macabre to outsiders, they are a cornerstone of Torajan identity. Their rituals not only preserve their unique cultural heritage, but also serve as a powerful reminder of the diverse ways humanity approaches the concept of mortality. The Toraja's relationship with death, though haunting, reveals a profound and enduring respect for life and legacy. The Asmat Tribe of Papua, headhunters of the past. The Asmat Tribe, originating from Papua, Indonesia, is infamous for its fearsome history of headhunting and ancestor worship. In ancient times, the Asmat believed that collecting the heads of their enemies was a way to honor their ancestors and gain spiritual favor. These skulls were displayed in their homes as trophies, symbolizing their victories and reverence for the dead. The tribe's violent past took on global infamy when Carl Hoffman's expose novel, *Savage Harvest*, accused the Asmat of killing and eating Michael C. Rockefeller in 1961. Deeply spiritual, the Asmat hold wood as sacred, believing their origins are tied to it. Their mythology tells that they arose from trees, and as a result, wood holds immense spiritual significance. From ancient times, they have been master woodcarvers, creating intricate carvings that depict spirits, rituals, and their worldview. These carvings are revered globally, with many showcased in prestigious museums as symbols of their extraordinary craftsmanship. Although headhunting is no longer practiced, the shadow of the Asmat's past lingers over their community. Their wood carvings, often depicting ancestral spirits and death-related themes, reflect their continued connection to the afterlife. These haunting pieces serve as both artistic masterpieces and reminders of the tribe's dark history, bridging the gap between past traditions and modern life. The Asmat's spiritual practices and history have instilled a sense of awe and fear among neighboring communities. Locals often speak of the tribe in hushed tones, wary of their reputation and the spiritual power ascribed to them. Despite the cessation of violent practices, the Asmat's cultural identity remains deeply intertwined with their connection to death and the supernatural. Today, the Asmat's rich cultural heritage is celebrated through their art and storytelling. While modern influences have touched their lives, the tribe continues to preserve its traditions. Their masterful wood carvings and enduring myths ensure that the Asmat legacy remains vibrant, serving as both a cautionary tale and a testament to their resilience and creativity. The Kalash Tribe of Pakistan. Spirit worship and seclusion. Nestled in the remote valleys of Pakistan's Hindu Kush Mountains, the Kalash tribe lives a life steeped in mystery and tradition. Known for their unique culture, they worship nature spirits and perform rituals that are as mesmerizing as they are unsettling. Among their most significant practices is sacrificing animals to appease their deities, often carried out during elaborate ceremonies filled with music, dance, and the flickering glow of firelight. The origins of the Kalash culture remain enigmatic. They are led by shamans and adhere to a polytheistic belief system, venerating a pantheon of gods and goddesses. With no written history, their traditions and stories are preserved through oral lore. Kalash men are easily identified by the distinctive peacock feathers adorning their hats, while women wear traditional black dresses embroidered with vibrant, colorful patterns. Central to their spiritual beliefs is Tsiyam, an ancient homeland referenced in their songs and thought by some historians to be modern-day Syria. Despite their rich heritage, the Kalash are often viewed with suspicion by neighboring communities. Their isolation and pagan practices, markedly different from the predominant religions of the region, have made them subjects of fear and misunderstanding. This wariness is further fueled by their rituals and distinctive appearance, which set them apart and add an air of mystique to their existence. For the Kalash, their traditions are not just a way of life, but a link to their ancestors and their gods. Their rituals and beliefs offer a glimpse into an ancient world untouched by the tides of modernity. Yet this uniqueness places them in a precarious position as the pressures of the outside world threaten to erode their cultural identity. The Kalash's resilience in preserving their way of life is a testament to the strength of their community and their enduring connection to the sacred and the spiritual. The Himba Tribe of Namibia, Red Ochre and the Afterlife. In the arid mountains of Namibia, the Himba tribe lives in isolation, their customs untouched by the outside world. But beneath their quiet existence lies a chilling connection to the dead. Every day, the Himba cover their skin with a deep red ochre paste. This strange mixture symbolizes blood, life, and a bond with their ancestors, who remain a powerful presence in their lives. The ochre serves as a constant reminder of their connection to those who came before them, keeping their ancestors' spirits close and alive in their minds. Their rituals, though ancient, are far from peaceful. The Himba gather around sacred fires, where they chant, offer gifts, and speak with the spirits of the dead. These ceremonies are not for the faint of heart. The air is thick with mystery, and each movement, each word, is charged with an energy that few outsiders can comprehend. To the Himba, these acts are a way of life, but to others, they feel like a dark invitation into a world where the living and the dead meet. The locals, while respectful of the Himba's beliefs, cannot shake the fear that surrounds their ceremonies. Many believe the spiritual power of the Himba is not something to be taken lightly. The fires they light are said to hold dangerous secrets, drawing energy from forces beyond human understanding. Those who live near the Himba often avoid them, keeping their distance from the rituals that seem to blur the line between the mortal world and the realm of the spirits. For the Himba, There is no escaping this connection to the dead. It is a part of their very being, woven into their identity, and it shapes every aspect of their lives. To them, the fear others feel is a small price to pay for the power and protection they receive from their ancestors. But to anyone who dares to witness their ceremonies, the fear may feel more like a warning, one not to be ignored. The Mundari Tribe of South Sudan. Cattle worship and rituals. In the vast, sun-baked grasslands of South Sudan, the Mundari tribe lives closely with their cattle, which they see as more than just animals. To them, cattle are sacred and represent life itself. Everything they do, from daily activities to special ceremonies, revolves around their cattle. These animals are deeply connected to their way of life, and the Mundari believe they hold a spiritual power that connects them to the gods. Outsiders may find it strange to see people so devoted to their cattle, but for the Mundari, this bond is everything. The Mundari's rituals are unlike anything most people are used to. One of the most unusual practices involves drinking the blood of their cattle. During ceremonies, the tribe draws blood directly from the cows, believing that it has special spiritual power. They think the blood can heal, protect, and connect them with their ancestors. The blood is shared among the tribe members, and this act is a sacred offering to their cattle and the gods. It is not done casually but with great respect, as they believe it is essential for their spiritual well-being. In addition to drinking blood, the Mundari also use cow dung ash to cleanse and mark their bodies. The ash is smeared on their skin in different patterns, which they believe protect them from bad spirits. These marks are seen as a way to connect with their ancestors and to gain strength and protection. For the Mundari, these rituals are not just about cleaning their bodies, they are about transforming their spirits and drawing power from the cows they cherish. Outsiders who see these practices may feel uncomfortable or frightened, as the rituals are so different from what they know. The Mundari's strong connection to their cattle and sacred ceremonies can seem strange or frightening to those who do not understand them. While many locals respect the Mundari, some fear their intense devotion and the mysterious power they believe their cattle hold. To the Mundari, their customs are a vital part of who they are, a way of life that links them to their ancestors and the spiritual world. These tribes, shrouded in mystery and steeped in tradition, remind us of the diverse and often eerie ways humans connect with death and the spiritual world. While their practices may seem frightening, they are a reflection of deep cultural beliefs and ancient ways of life. What do you think of these tribes and their rituals? Which one did you find the most chilling? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.